Should I buy my mountain bike at a local bike shop? What brands do they offer? Can they help me out with maintenance? What kind of warranties do they offer? Why is their sticker price more than online? Do I penny pinch and get the best deal? And how do I know if this bike is going to fit me? All of these questions will be answered today and more, so stick around to the end. So the hard part is done. You've done your research for hours, figured out what bike brand you want and what components you want on it. But now the question comes up, do you buy online or from your local bike shop? Each of these has pros and cons. And today, I'll be discussing these pros and cons with Bob here from Bobcat Bicycles, and also an online representative from a very well-known mountain biking online store. All right, so this is Bob from Bobcat Bicycles in Salinas, California. So hey, Bob.
Hey, Bob.
First question is, like, when someone who has never mountain biked before, what are things that you can do to get them on the right bike? Let's start there.
So there's things before you even pick a bike, you have to kind of go, okay, I need to get gear. When you go skiing, you just don't go, I'll take those skis. Well, you're going to need a jacket.
Sure.
You're going to need some boots.
Sure.
Maybe
sure.
a hat.
Yeah.
Maybe some goggles.
Yeah, right. Right.
Before you even get to the point of buying a chairlift ticket, you gotta get your gear. You have to be outfitted yourself. You have to have a helmet.
Sure.
Great idea, about $40.
Yeah.
Gloves are a great idea, about $30. Some padded shorts.
Sure.
That's right, about $50. You've got probably $150 worth of contact point things to go after.
Sure.
You get at least the comfort to go mountain biking. Then your bicycle has to be kind of prepared to do a trail ride, and that means not walk home. You
Right.
want to get a pump.
Right.
You want to get a spare tube. You want to get some tire levers. Get a spare chain link. Spare a couple of things that are going to get your bike so that you aren't going to walk home. So having your gear is key for anything.
Sure.
And then set a bike that's okay in your budget. So you kind of go, okay, where's my budget? Okay, if it's $600, okay, ride that. Ride something below it.
And here, and would you say as a bike shop owner, most of the bike shops around have a good price range on their floor?
We start about $500.
Okay.
That's where specialized bicycles start. So $500, then it kind of makes $100 increments up
Sure.
to a lot more.
Sure.
So
the sky is the
if
limit.
It's reliable,
Yeah.
comfortable, and you like it, it's a good bike.
Sure.
It doesn't have to be a crazy bike to like it. If it's comfortable and you like it and it's reliable, it's a good bike.
So when a customer comes in and they buy a bike from you, what kind of incentives do you guys offer?
Every bike shop in the world gets a bike in a box from company brand X, Y,
Sure.
Z. How does it get from the box to your hands? So what we do on every bike is we're going to take the cranks out. We're going to take the fork out. We're going to basically blueprint the frame and the headset and
Sure.
the bottom rack to make sure there isn't a bearing in backward to something funky monkey. These things get pre-assembled somewhere far away.
Far.
We can capture it now, then everybody's happy down the road.
Yeah.
So we kind of back up our build. We don't do an assembly. It's a build.
Sure.
It's our bike. We're going
Yeah.
to maintain it for free. For a year. We're
Okay.
going to give you 3 free tune-ups.
Okay.
We're going to give you free maintenance classes for every week for as long as you like. Anything labor-wise, we're going to help with shipping labor on. Basically, it's our bike together. You just have to bring this in with the bike. We're open 7 days a week, and you're fine.
That's
easy.
easy. Right.
You don't know what all the different parts are, nor care. You just want to go riding. It's your decision. It's your thing. We're not going to tell you what kind of bike to get.
Absolutely.
You're going to kind of give us information. You're the race car driver. We're the pit crew.
Yeah.
Come in and go, why aren't you riding? I'm like, this seat's killing me. Well, let's get rid of that. Let's try a different seat. So that's what we provide. Is basically we're trying to get people riding.
Yes.
Yeah. We're not trying to. Your thing is mail order versus bike shops.
Right.
Mail order. I don't know. I don't know what mail order can provide.
Yeah, and from a personal standpoint, I bought my last bike online, and the only reason why I did is because we traveled so much. So I didn't have one local shop that I worked with on a regular basis. And so I know my way around my own bike. I can do small maintenance issues, but when it comes to larger repairs like, a fork redo or, drivetrain, very specific drivetrain work, I can't do those things, so I do rely on local bike shops no matter where I am in the U.S. to do those types of things. So hearing those incentives are great.
Yeah.
Okay, so last question, we'll finish this up. I know you got customers in here. Do you guys support local organizations who build trails, or do you guys have an organization of yourselves that build trails and race and do things like that? Help the community out.
Right.
You know, because I think one of the biggest things in the mountain biking sport is the camaraderie. You know, you really get to be in a community of strong people. You know, and it starts at your bike shop and it starts at your trail organization.
Right. So ours in Salinas here is called MORCA. It's an IMBA chapter. So those are our diggers. That's our ride resources.
The builders, sure.
So that's where we have, the Saturday morning ride. There's a Monday girls only ride.
Okay.
Wednesday afternoon, an evening ride, and they've worked with the government out of Fort Ord to be able to legally ride out in the monument area at night.
Okay.
So MORCA is kind of like the legit building group. So that's in Salinas. That's our group.
Alrighty, thanks Bob, appreciate it.
In this part of the video, I actually talked to an online representative from a very big, well-known online superstore for mountain biking. And I'm not going to say any names, just for privacy reasons. So, I wanted to portray this conversation as I am a brand new mountain biker and I'm looking to buy my first bike, because that's kind of how I set it up in the bike shop when I was talking to Bob. Okay, so kind of listen to me while I narrate and read the conversation at the same time. Might be too much for some of you, but let's go ahead and figure this out. So I told him that our budget was $1,000, and I asked, what kind of bikes do you have in this price range to get me into? He sends me a few links, and he suggested using the filtering option by price to find the right bike for me. Okay, so this is something that I've mentioned before, and actually just in the last video, that it's a really good way to narrow down your brands. So he continues to ask me what style of riding that I do, and I said mainly XC and single track. And he sends me a link and he says this is probably the best bang for your buck right now, and goes on to ask me about my size. So far the experience of chatting with someone online has been really, really good. He's taking interest in my needs in a bike, and he's giving me different options, which is very good. So a lot of times miscommunication can happen over chat like this, but this is the best way for me to ask the same questions that I did in the bike shop. So I go on to ask what kind of incentives and warranties do you offer, and he sends me a couple links on why you should buy from them and the warranty benefits. I kind of had a misunderstanding with him here. I thought that they had their own warranty as a company, and then they offered the factory warranty on top of that. But actually what it was is that they just do the manufacturer's warranty, just like most bike shops or dealers do. So that was something there. And then I go on to ask him about when is the best time to buy a bike. Is there one certain time of year that the bikes go on sale? And he said right around Easter, which is just coming up. So he's pushing me to purchase soon, maybe decide soon. But I also know that there are some very good deals at the end of the year. That's when all of the previous year bikes go on sale and all the new ones start coming in. So that's a very good time to catch a bike sale. At this point, I wanted to ask them about repairs. What do I do if something on my bike breaks? Okay, because when you buy from a local bike shop, you get repair incentives, right? They give you 3 free tune-ups and maintenance free for a year. And so I just ask him, and after my reply, he goes on to say that if it's a manufacturer's default, send it back to them and they'll get you squared away. But if it's a break on a crash, that's on you, which is normally how it goes in a typical situation. My next question is I ask, do you guys have everything that I need to get me on the trails? And most of the time an online store is going to have that. He goes on to say absolutely, and tries to get me to add things to my cart and things like that, which is okay. It's his job. My next question was, do you guys assemble all your bikes in-house? And he says, we do double check them, and fully adjusted and shifting is good for you, which is a good thing. My next question is about shipping, the length of shipping, and how does it get shipped. He said approximately 2 to 3 days. And then at the end, I had a very random question. And do you guys, as a company, support any trail organizations? And he sends me a link that leads them to their community page. So it's implying that they support trail organizations, which is a good thing when it comes to an online store.
Okay, so what did you guys think of that video? It's pretty cool to see both sides of the story, one from a local bike shop and one from an online store. I know that I struggled with this when buying my last bike simply because I was looking to save the most money, and the price point online was definitely cheaper than the bike shop, but I didn't have all the incentives. So the decision is totally up to you. If you guys like this video, please give me a big thumbs up and consider subscribing. If you want to help support the channel in other ways, check out our website. We have t-shirts, long sleeves, hoodies, stickers, all the swag that you need in your mountain biking life. I'll see you guys next week on next week's episode. Peace out.